Alright, so today we're talking about the one thing that completely blew up the Zenlesszonezero community overnight, Zhao possibly being a free agent. And I know this sounds wild at first. A free limited S rank during Christmas? But trust me, the community has been going crazy because the pieces actually line up. So in this video, I want to break down what players are saying, why everyone thinks this is real, how it connects to older hints, and what it might mean for Ye Shengguang teams for pull planning and honestly just for the game's future patterns. If you want to save up to 23% on your Zenlesszonezero top-ups, check out lootbar.gg. Right now, Lootbar has a 2.3 limited 6,480 polychrome pack for only $76, while it's $100 in-game. So on Lootbar, you're saving $24. I just entered my UID, picked my server, no password needed. And just like that, the monochromes appeared on my account. And look, I still got the first-time double bonus, same as with the in-game top-up. Lootbar has over 20,000 positive reviews on Trustpilot and more than 90,000 positive user reviews across Hoyoverse games. I've been using it for over a year now, even for my giveaways, so I can personally recommend it. New users also get an extra 10% off coupon, so click the link in the description and start saving today. And of course, this isn't confirmed until the live stream, so we're talking speculation, patterns, and public community reactions. Let's start with where this all came from, because the context matters. A while back, one of the known leakers, Lifa, dropped a STC info note saying we might get a free agent as a Christmas or New Year gift. They didn't name anyone, and they didn't want to guess without more evidence, but that early tease stuck in people's minds. At the time, nobody knew who it could be. Some people assumed Banyue, others thought maybe a rerun character, but nothing solid. That's why, when the new message started circulating claiming Zhao would be the free agent for the patch, the entire community connected the dots immediately. It fits the exact timing Lifa mentioned, and the pattern also makes sense if you look at how patch 1.4 played out with Miyabi and Harumasa, and this is where Full Stop Chan enters. If you don't know them, they're one of the most trusted names in the ZZ's leak scene. People literally say, if FSC says it, it might as well be true unless something changes at the last second. This is the same person who talked about Harumasa being free in 1.4, and we all know how that turned out. So when players saw the new message claiming Zhao might be the free agent, and that it came from an FSC-connected source, everything suddenly felt a lot more realistic. Again, not confirmed, but this is why hype exploded instantly. What made it even crazier is the community's reaction. Reddit went from "I'm broke" to "financial crisis avoided" in 1 hour. You had people saying thank God they can pull for Dial-In in peace now, players calling it Zhao Christmas, free Labubu, free Bunny, all the memes. Some even said this is 1.4 all over again, because back then, Miyabi released and Harumasa was given away for free. And now in 2.5, we have Ye Shengguang releasing, and this possibility of Zhao being free. Whether it's intentional or not, people really feel like Hoyoverse is repeating that season finale pattern, a huge headliner and a bonus free agent to celebrate the end of the storyline. But let's talk about Zhao herself, because her role in the game is a big part of this discussion. Zhao is an S-rank defense agent. Yes, S-rank. That's also why people are shocked about the idea of her being free. Defense agents in ZZZ are a weird space. Some get overlooked, but some end up being essential for certain teams depending on how the game evolves, and community posts heavily discussed her synergy with Ye Shengguang, since Zhao brings things like survivability, utility, and supportive effects that make Ye Shengguang's ethereal-style gameplay smoother. People kept mentioning how Zhao helps with maintaining pressure in fights, how her numbers sit in that jack-of-all-trades, master-of-none territory, and how her animations look great even if her kit isn't built around massive burst damage. She's not the "I do 999,999 damage" type. She's more of a stabilizer that holds a team together. That's also why some players were worried she might get nerfed if she turns out to be free. If you've been around since 1.4, you probably remember people saying something similar about Harumasa. And honestly, the concerns make sense. When something is free, it usually means the character won't be designed to overshadow premium limited units. Players were posting things like, "Zhao is already average, please don't nerf her harder," while others pointed out that nerfing her would also hurt Ye Shengguang's performance, which wouldn't make sense right before release. There's even a bit of debate about her mindscapes and whether they should feel more rewarding for someone who wants to invest vertically in her build. Another angle that got a lot of attention is her W engine. People were asking if her signature engine would also be free, and based on community replies, no one really expects that. In fact, a lot of players said Zhao's signature engine is probably the strongest part of her kit, and her best free-to-play alternative is still uncertain because the existing defense engines are not very impressive. Some pointed to Pan Yinhu's engine as a decent pick, others said none of them feel great. So even if Zhao ends up being free, players might still invest in her signature engine if they really want to maximize her synergy with Ye Shengguang or get smoother defensive utility. What's really interesting is how this free Zhao discussion affects pull planning. People instantly started reorganizing their resources. Some said they'll skip Zhao entirely and go all in on Ye Shengguang. Others said they'll use their guarantee on dial-in instead, since Zhao might come for free. And some free-to-play players commented that this actually saves thousands of polychromes for the next big patch, especially with the idols rumored for 2.6. A lot of players saw this as Hoyoverse giving everyone a breathing room patch, which is kind of smart if the next update is supposed to drop something big. Even the people who were skeptical before are now saying it makes sense. Zhao is S rank, but she's not a damage dealer. She's defense, she's support, and she's more specialized. And that makes her the perfect candidate for a free, limited reward that still feels meaningful but doesn't break the game. And the fact that both LIFA and FSC hints now line up is what pushed the conversation from maybe to this might actually happen. But of course, until the live stream, nothing is certain. This is all based on patterns, community observation, and what players are discussing publicly. Hoyoverse could change plans at any moment, or the free reward might be something completely unexpected. That's why I always say, treat any early information as a possibility, not a guarantee. But if this does turn out to be true, then honestly, it's one of the best holiday gifts Hoyoverse has ever given players across all their games. A free S-rank limited support with strong synergy for one of the biggest damage dealers of the patch is huge. And that's pretty much the full picture. The early hints, the new claims, the massive community reaction, the parallels to patch 1.4, the pull-saving debate, the memes, the meta concerns, all of it makes this one of the most exciting discussions ZZ's has had in months. Let me know what you think about all this. Are you hyped for a free Zhao? Are you worried about possible nerfs? Or are you just happy you can save for Ye Shengguang or the idols? Drop your thoughts below. I always love reading your comments. And if you enjoy this kind of breakdown, mixing leaks, patterns, community reactions, and my own commentary, don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. Buy 6,480 monochromes with 2.3 limited pack for only $76 at lootbar.gg. Just enter your UID and server. The link is in the description.